Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the apex of our series, and the final episode in the archive. Today, we'll be discussing one of my favorite of the most underappreciated aspects in Magic the Gathering itself, that in itself is the most like history and literature in the real world, as well as the art of literature. First off, I would like to give a quick mention to Awaken the Ancient. It is an enchantment that turns a mountain into a 7/7 red giant with haste that's still a land. And this is quite similar to how in the last book of the Chronicles of Narnia, spoilers by the way, the lion that basically rules over Narnia lets out a roar from the other side of a door of time, basically, that causes a giant by the name of Father Time to awaken from the ground and blow his horn to signal the end of time for Narnia. Now, here's the interesting thing. In Magic the Gathering, the how to build a deck introductory pamphlet mentions that a lot of good decks tell a story in a way. And this is both an underappreciated aspect of deck building, my mistake, and one that is not used very often at all. Like, let's say I had a card like, I don't know, here's a good one. Scream Reach Brawler. And he was expedited to the field. Or he made an expedited advance on a certain location, and by doing so, he got infected by a kind of curse, like a skin invasion, which then led to an inner struggle before his death, which would then lead to a metamorphosis of the insect that, or curse that took hold of him in the first place, leading to a horrific being Do you get what I'm saying? Magic the Gathering in itself is literature. Each deck is supposed to tell a story in its own way. And while that may have been easier in the very beginning days of Magic the Gathering, there will never be a deck that can truly tell a story the same way every time a game is played. But that's the interesting thing about it, because each time the story is told, the character has a new name, and the story has a different plot entirely. Magic the Gathering is, in that way, kind of a game that helps authors decide on ideas for books that they might write, or it's that Magic the Gathering gains inspiration for its cards from books and stories that have already been written. And as hard as it is to believe, Magic the Gathering is itself a story, and the tales of each creature and each legend amongst them, every planeswalker, every hero, every plane, is literature. Not all of it pertaining to our real world's history, but it is literature. You might not realize it, but everything about Magic the Gathering is literature. From the creative abilities of cards and their names, to the flavor text and art that some of them have. And not only that, but the interesting backstories that each character has, and how almost every card has a part to play in the overall set that it comes from. And this is the real magic. Because without those aspects and those interesting mechanics that show up all the time, Magic the Gathering would just be another one of those dull trading card games that no one pays any heed to. And while some communities or some areas of people have very sparse populations of people who like or even participate with Magic the Gathering, the game is a well-known and well-renowned trading card sport worldwide. No wonder it is still a large gaming franchise today. And if I get to it, I might even talk about their Magic Duels game on Steam as a bonus. But that's all for now, folks. That's all for now.